Superintendent. Thank you, Superintendent. I'd just like to reiterate that this is the largest reward offered in the city's history and stands as a great example of how we can work together as a community and cooperate to overcome the challenges we face as a community. There are a few individuals from the Chicago Police Department that we would like to thank personally. It's Lieutenant John Foligno, Officer David Appel, and our CAPS liaison, Sergeant Sean Sisk. As well, we would like to acknowledge those organizations that stepped up to contribute towards this reward. In no particular order, it's the Rogers Park Builders Association, the Jewish Federation of Metropolitan Chicago, community activist Raul Montes Jr., Crime Stoppers of Cook County, and a private donation on behalf of an individual for the Moskowitz family who wishes to remain anonymous. I would like to ask those news organizations that when you report this in your news reports, that you accompany it with the surveillance video that the Chicago Police Department has provided publicly so that we can remove this individual from our midst, which is something that we all want as a community. Thank you very much.
Now we'll take questions if you have any.
Can you tell us, are you guys still out on the street in the numbers that you were a month ago?
Listen, so we put a certain amount of detectives on any homicide investigation. Of course, because of the nature, the proximity, and the time frame that this individual committed these acts, of course, we put additional patrols out there. We're not quite at the numbers we were back then, but we still have a substantial amount of personnel out there.
Superintendent, do we know anything more about the motive at this point? There have been talk, maybe people questioning whether this was a hate crime?
No, it's still too early to say that. And I just, my police acumen would just say to me, unless, God forbid, that any more crimes of this nature are committed, but until we bring that individual in, we may not know that motive.
Superintendent, originally you said that there were several hundreds of hours of video to go through. So far, we've only gotten the original images we had within days of the first murder. Are there any other new images that you can share, or are you planning to share publicly?
Not at this time.
Have you located images that you're not sharing at this time?
No.
Superintendent, when I saw that video and he's got that distinctive walk, it's a really good look at him, I thought, oh, this is going to be easy to find, but we're now about 5 weeks later. Obviously, I'm not police, but are you kind of surprised that with that great surveillance, you still don't have him?
Well, my hope would be that we would have got him within 48 hours. But here's the fundamental thing we all have to remember. Somebody out there knows who this guy is. They do. He's either bragged to someone saw that video and recognized him. We just need those individuals to come forward and help us with this. We need to take this individual off the streets because, he touched 2 individuals back then. Hopefully he doesn't touch anyone else, but there's somebody that knows who he is, and for whatever reason, they haven't come forward yet, but hopefully they will, and that's why we're asking them to.
How worried are you that at this point, the most likely way you're going to catch him is because of the camera?
Well, that's always of a concern. I hope it doesn't rise to that level, but that's always a concern. I wouldn't kid you about that. But we do have we have leads that we're still, looking at, but we need additional help from the public out there.
Superintendent, so has all of the video that you were able to retrieve from the city cameras and private business cameras been reviewed at this point, and there's no other image of the suspect? There's so many cameras in the park and in the areas between these 2 murders.
I know a lot of video has been reviewed, but I don't know if every piece of it has been reviewed. I'll get that information to you.
Superintendent, your comments kind of speak to the code of silence among people that just are afraid to come forward or just typically don't come forward when they know?
Yeah, well, you know what, Paris, I'll tell you this. There's a lot of reasons why people don't share information. Some of it is because they just don't want to get involved. Sometimes it's because they're afraid. Sometimes they just don't want to tell on the person that they know as a friend or loved one. But you're not helping when you do that. These types of crimes are heinous, and it's unacceptable. Any murder in this city is unacceptable. Not just these particular ones, but we always have to fight that thing, whether we want to call whatever you want to call it, that people are afraid to share that information. So all I can do is encourage people to tell us what they know.
A few days ago, a young Latina was also fatally shot in the Belmont Cragen area. According to the father's victim, the perpetrator was wearing a mask. Any chance that this could be related?
Well, we can't say that right now because the reason you just stated, because he was wearing a mask and the other individual was masked up. But I took, my gut would say, no, they're not related. But there's always that possibility, but I doubt it. Anything else?